One of the common applications for timer is using it for a flashing light. Flashing lights are used in many applications in industry and even in commercial environments. In a flashing light, simply the light is on for a certain time and off for a certain time. So we need to think about how long to keep it on and how long to keep it off. Let's take an example where we need to program a flashing light. In our example, the light is on for 6 seconds and off for 2 seconds. So, one timer to keep track of the 6 seconds and one timer to keep track of the 2 seconds. Note here, as mentioned previously, we need to know what is the timer base of the specific PLC timer we're using. In our example, we are going to use a timer base of 0.1. So for the 6-second delay and for the 2 seconds delay, we are going to use 60 and 20 for the preset value. I chose the names to be on timer for the 6-second delay and off timer for the 2 seconds delay, but I'm using a timer on delay for both. Now let's start programming. The first step is adding the timer in the rung. As soon as the program starts, the rung is true and the timer starts timing. Once the 6-second is done, then we'll be using the done bit of the timer to start the second timer. This will ensure that the second timer starts only when the first timer is done timing. Now we need to think about how to reset the first timer. Remember that timers resets in a change in a rung condition, and for timer on delay, I need the rung to have the transition from true to false, because at this point, without having any input instruction, the rung will be true and stay that way, and the timer will stop once it reaches the preset value. So now we need to think about how to make the rung goes from false to true, and at the same time ensuring that the timer increments to the preset value. So we can take advantage of the second timer by using the timer done bit. Now think about either using XIC or XIO instruction. Let's see how the program works when using XIO instruction. So at the beginning, the second timer done bit is not activated yet because the second timer has not even started timing. So the XIO instruction in the first rung is highlighted, and this will ensure that the first timer starts timing. As soon as the first timer is done timing, it stops and the done bit in the second rung is activated, and as a result, the second timer starts timing. And once the second timer is done timing, the second timer done bit changes to 1. So the XIO instruction in the first rung is not highlighted anymore, and the first timer resets back to 0. And at the same time, as soon as the first timer resets, the done bit resets as well, so the second rung XIC instruction goes to 0, and this makes the second timer resets as well. At this point, we go back to the beginning and the whole process starts again. The timers are used to reset each other after each one is done timing. Now we got the flashing part working. We have 2 timers, one is for 6 seconds and one for 2 seconds. Now we need to link that to the light. Since we want the light to stay on for 6 seconds and off for 2 seconds, then we are going to use the 6-second timer timing bit to connect it to the light. So let's use the simulation software to see how this program works. In the simulation software, note here I'm using 2 timers. The address for the 6-second timer delay is T40, and the address for the 2 seconds timer is T41. Now we go online, download the program, and hit the run mode. Notice here, as soon as we hit the run mode, the flashing light works. It's on for 6 seconds and off for 2 seconds.